Hello. Alright, everything looks like it's up. So today I am going to be finishing the sculpture we did last time of Dead Hand from Legend of Zelda. As you can see, I have, as is my custom, already done the base coat of black in this case. I was thinking about doing a gray, but we're going to start with black and then work our way up to the bluish purple gray that he is. So we're going to start on this. He's not completely dry, but it's enough that I can already start working. So he's very blue-gray colored, so we're going to start with the gray. It's been so long since I've played Ocarina of Time. I was trying to go through some images and try to remember like all the boss fights and stuff. And I honestly think the Forest Temple was my favorite because I think I liked fighting the Ganon one that kept going through all the paintings. So I had a vague memory of Ganon going into paintings, and I was like, what was that? And I looked it up. I thought it was part of the Shadow Temple at first, but it's not. It's the Forest Temple. It's been so long since I've played that game. I should replay it. I have I think I was talking about that last time. I have the Master Quest edition and the special editions that were on the GameCube disc. The limited edition GameCube disc that I found ages ago at a GameStop when I was a kid. I think I actually was looking for it online and showed it as being available in my area, and my dad took me to go pick it up. And I still remember too because the lady who was in the store who helped us had a Twilight Princess shirt on at the time. And I think, I'm trying to remember if I had just played Twilight Princess or, I don't know. Because I didn't start the series with, I started the series with Wind Waker when I was very young. And it wasn't even my game, it was my sister's game. But yeah, Ocarina of Time I have only played once. I have played Majora's Mask a few times. I have played Wind Waker about 10 times. And the more recent games I have played once through each. Although I may go back and replay Tears of the Kingdom, because I did really love that one. I really liked Tears of the Kingdom. It was so good. And I actually really liked Echoes of Wisdom as well. I know some people didn't like it as much, but I had fun. I liked playing Zelda. Even though you did kind of just turn into Link all the time. But that's something I love about Zelda games, is they always, they introduce new mechanics quite often. That's kind of the thing that they do. And so I'm always excited when they introduce new stuff. New creatures, new lore. There's something about them I've just always really enjoyed. I don't think there's been... Well, the only one I'm not as fond of, I think, but it wasn't bad. I liked it. Was the one where you're on the island and you're asleep. What is that one? I'm trying to remember what the name of that one is. Dang it, I can't remember the name of it. Not a bad game, though. It's just I wasn't as fond of the storytelling in that one. Which one is it? Dang it. This is gonna bother me now. Because it has the giant egg that's at the top of the mountain. And it's implied that you're asleep. It's kind of unusual for the storytelling for the game. It was fun, though. I did like it. I played the remastered version on the Switch. And you wake up on the island. What is the name? I have to look this up now. It's gonna bother me until I remember. Link's Awakening. That's what it is. That's the one I couldn't remember. That's the only one I haven't liked quite as much. And of course, the first games. The very first games I do have, but I have the older, I had the special disc that has them. I do like Four Swords. I never did finish it. That's one of the few I didn't finish. And the original Zelda and Zelda 2. Because I got the special edition GameCube versions of them. But I think there's no checkpoints whatsoever, and it's really frustrating because it's very platformy. And I'm okay-ish with that, but it's almost completely platformy, and I really suck at that. So I was having trouble. But I do want to go through and play them all in order of the official timeline, which I think they retconned and with the last game. I don't think they ever intended to have a timeline. I think that was an afterthought because the fans demanded it. But it would be fun to play the games in order of the timeline. I also really loved Skyward Sword. I feel like everybody has different opinions on which Zelda games were good or bad or whatever. But I think they're all pretty good. And I did happen to like a lot of the ones that other people weren't as fond of. But yeah, Echoes of Wisdom is so good. I really liked it. I loved the new mechanic. And I loved Conde, the little... Oh, what's the little Yeti? I loved him. I keep looking like somebody's got to make a plushie of the little guy. I would buy it in a heartbeat. I know I said little guy and he's quite large, but he was so sweet. I loved him. He's like the best character in that game. I like random sad little NPCs. Thinking when I played Majora's Mask, I really liked Pamela, the little girl with her father that's been cursed. I really liked her as well. And she's only, I mean, you can even miss her. You can even miss her story, I believe. If you're not careful. That and the random poor guy, that's one thing I loved about Majora's Mask. There were so many random little NPCs with good storytelling, even though they had such short like dialogue options and stories within the actual game. Like I'm thinking of the guy who gives you the mask that makes you like invisible. I remember him seeming really sad. I think that's why I liked Majora's Mask. It felt very serious and very interesting, the storytelling. Plus, I've always loved time loop stuff, time loop games, or what I like to call restrictive storytelling, because it requires you to write a really good story in a very small frame, in this case of time, that keeps repeating. I also love stories that take place like in a limited place or like one room or something. And Majora's Mask kind of fits that itch because it's a limited location or storyline that keeps repeating, and yet you can change it every time. I always love it when there's stuff like that because it's like seeing the same situation from everybody's different perspective. And I've always loved storytelling that does that. So yeah, Majora's Mask is definitely one of my favorites. Wind Waker is the most nostalgic for me because it's the first one I ever played. It's the one I played the most. It's also the one I've had the longest. I was very young when I played that one. Alright, we've got first basic coat of gray. Gotta do his arms here. Now I'm toying with the idea for Dead Hand of using some of my resin with dye and doing some congealed blood just to make it more horrifying. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'll see how it looks when we're done with the painting. And then if I think it needs it, we'll go that route. I'd have to go grab the stuff for it because I didn't bring it up here, but we'll see. I think that might add some interesting elements, but I'm not sure how well I could pull it off, so we'll see if I need it or not. And I do apologize. I know my microphone quality's been up and down and all over the place. I am still working on that. So hopefully it's not too bad. I know it changes whenever I'm like here and I'm directly looking at the microphone. If I turn it a little bit, that's probably better. I had it too loud, so I turned it down a tad, but YouTube sound is always really quiet. So, but then again, I'd rather it be quiet and you have the option to turn it up than vice versa. But yes, I will sit down, and I think there's some new settings and programs that I can potentially download that come from the company itself. I have a Blue Yeti microphone, so I'm learning how to work with that. But I'll see if there's, I think they have their own software, so I'll see if I can work with that, or if I just need to learn OBS filters a little better. I downloaded a plugin for that, and so I have quite a few filters now. I'm just really unfamiliar with audio settings. And I always end up endlessly playing with them because I don't know what they do. So I just change them back and forth until they sound vaguely okay. And then when I do the actual videos, I'm like, oh, that's not quite right still. But okay, so we've done that. I think we'll let that dry for a little bit. He's already looking even more terrifying. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do some brown for the dirt that is around him. And the skulls should also have a brown coat on them, because bones tend to be a slightly off-white, an ivory color, so we will add now the base here is what's not fully dry, so we'll have to add a little bit here, and then I'll come back afterward. Yeah. So we're just adding a little bit of dark brown, and then I will let this finish drying because it's still pretty wet with all the black base coat that we did. Okay. Now, I think we should probably go ahead and do... We could do a white. Go ahead and do a white across the body here. Just a little bit. To lighten it up some more. Actually, you know what? We should do purple first. Because I want to get a little bit of that purplish, bluish color in there. Yes, we're going to use... So I think we're going to do patches of like purple, and then we'll go over it again with the white. I kind of want to mix it a little. Places where it might be reddish on actual faces, and then we'll go back over this with the gray and then the white. Sorry. Sorry about that. All right. And we can add a little bit of a reddish tone on a couple of these spots too. Where the skin is very tight and pulling will also be a bit purple. Sort of just doing purple highlights. There we go. All right, there we go for that's the purple highlights. All right, and now, where did my other... Oh, there's one of my bigger brushes. Now we're going to go over it again with a lighter white. We're going to dry brush it a bit. That is too much white. Way too much white. I might do a little bit of white and then go back over it with the gray again, because this white is way too bright for what I want to do. I mean, to be fair, he is fairly light colored. But and we'll probably have to yellow the teeth a bit as well. He's looking lovely and horrifying. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, this is disgusting, and also I'm weirdly pleased that it's disgusting. It's supposed to be. It's not often you want stuff to look horrible, but in this case, yeah, I want him to look horrible. Don't worry, the next sculpture I will do will be nice and cute and wholesome, I think. Or cool. I'm not going to do another horror one for a little bit. I like to take breaks occasionally. I will probably post a poll as well. Because I will not be here next Friday. I have medical stuff going on. I have to get a procedure done, so I won't be here next Friday, but I will attempt to get a poll up. I think I'm going to do an animal sculpture next, so I'm going to design some ideas for that, and then I'll probably come back with those and post it in poll form on YouTube and the other platforms and see what people would like to have me do. I kind of want to do another randomized sculpture, because I've done those before and they're kind of cool. Okay. And then I'll have to start doing the red patches here for the bits of torn flesh. I don't know if I want to look up a reference photo for that. I might just fudge it. I don't know if I want to do that. Sculpting it is fine, but I don't want to look it up. Okay. I think, yeah, we're going to start doing the torn flesh pieces. The bit of red. But as you can see, we're making progress. All right. I think we will add some purplish and other tones to these as well. So as I said in the last video, these are actually just portrayed as like reddish patches and streaks on the model. Granted, it's an older game, so you're kind of guessing at what they intended. This is what I imagined they intended. But looking at the more modern version of this character, apparently that's not. But I went with my take on the design. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put this aside, and I think we're going to do some white and some, I think, well, let's see. Let's do white and this beigeish color. Because I think I want to do, well, let's see. I want to do the dark brown between the teeth and then do the beigeish color on top. And then we'll have to do the gum line as well. Which I shouldn't have put my red away for that. I need the red. Grab the red one more time here. There we go. Put that aside. Now we'll do the beige color for the teeth. Because we don't want them to be white. We want them to be like an off-white color. And I don't think this is quite the right color either. But we'll do this and then we'll go over it with a bit of white. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay. Okay, there's some little spikes here that I should have gotten off when I was doing the 3D printed piece. Here we go. They're gone now. Now the skulls are 3D printed. I could have sculpted them, but the detail that I would have done would have been considerably subpar to the 3D printer on this case. So with readily available skull mods for free, models for free, there was no reason not to just use a pre-existing one for decoration. All right. Well, this is the hard one because we have to do this without hitting the hand. Because I just thought it would look cool to have the hands resting on top of skull. Now, Dead Hand did have quite a few more hands than this. But for the sake of my sculpture, I was like, I am not doing that many. That is too many. Too many pieces that could break off and cause problems. Here we go. We're making progress. All right. Now I think I'm gonna do light. Where's the pale color that I am looking for? I need this one. Where is it? This one. Okay. And I also need a little bit of the bone color for up here before I put that away. Okay, and then okay. We'll put this in the water. Now we will add some extra color to the open flesh patches. Mhm. There we go. We're looking a little better there. Let me see if I can spread out some of the stuff that's not drying. Thankfully, I don't think this is going to take that long to finish painting. Just because, oops. Just because there's not that many colors to do with this one. Let me pull up my reference photo again. Yeah, he's really just very gray and sometimes a little bit purplish. Gonna see if I can water down some purple so I can get a little more of that purple tone. Yeah, we'll do this. Water it down. I feel like the old one had a little bit more of a bluish color, but it kind of depends on the lighting. But Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can dry brush the dirt and add some more coloration to this dirt now. I think the back of it's still really dry, so I may have to do just the front and then wait a bit. Alright, we're making progress. I feel like there should be some brownish tones up here too, because he's always like, he emerges from the dirt. So, should be a little icky. Okay. Alright. Kind of see the progress we have made thus far. Oh. 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 And as always, I'm very sleepy. I don't think I've done a video where I wasn't tired. There we go. Do a little bit of that. Anyway, we gotta keep painting the base here. Gotta get the base correct. I should also probably do water down the gray a bit and do another coat of the gray. No, I need a new brush. Maybe not the gray, actually. I should probably do another coat of the white, because I think it is a little lighter. He is a lighter color than this. So let's aim for that. I did not mean to get brown in that. Okay, now we've done that. Let me see if I can touch up the bones in the arms here. Okay. Can't believe the back of this is still not dry. Dang it. Oh well, I can work on some details with the teeth perhaps while we're waiting for the stuff to dry that's not going to dry. If it gets really bad, I might just grab my heat gun and turn the audio off for a second and then just cheat. Use the heat gun a little bit. Yellow the teeth a little bit here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the white and go over the skulls just a little. Just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get the brown color on the back here now that it's a little bit more dry. Okay. Still pretty not dry. Pretty wet. But we'll make it work. All right. Okay. Dry already. I want to finish this. I don't think it wants to dry. I might have to grab the heat gun and use that to dry it off faster. But I think we're doing pretty good. He's pretty scary. All right. I could go over this in the lighter brown, just a little bit of it, but if I do too much, it's going to match the color of the skull, so I don't want to do that too much. Just do little bits. There we go. So I added more texture to the dirt in the front. I need to do more to the back, but I can't because it's not right. I could go back through and do some more red on the edges of the flesh pieces, for lack of a better way to describe this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do the resin because I'm concerned it'll not turn out right. Looking at this, I think this looks fine, just with the red, the pink, and the little bit of white. Okay. Let's flip this around again. And then a little bit. A little bit here and there of that. There we go. Okay, I do have one issue. I need to fill the mouth in better with black because I can see a problem with this. Okay, that's a little better now. Okay. I think we are pretty much done with him. He is adequately horrifying. So, we've accomplished that. Alright. But for now, we are finished with him. If you watched this video, I do greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you have other fan art pieces you'd like to see me do, other monsters, other creatures, I will probably be doing something a little bit more wholesome and cute next time. But I greatly appreciate it if you watched through this far, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful night or morning, whatever time it is for you right now. And check back, hopefully in a couple days, I will have the edited video up, and I will have a poll. I think I'll have a poll up for my next sculpture. Probably an animal one. We'll see what I come up with. But there'll be a poll for the next sculpture coming up very soon.